Well, once again, welcome to Tabernacle Baptist Church, our virtual service. I'm Bishop Dennis A. Meredith, and I'm here with my son and co-pastor, Pastor Taylor Meredith. Thank you all for letting us come into your homes each Sunday. It's been a little over a year since we closed down because of COVID, and I guess we'll be closed down for a few more weeks, maybe a couple of more months before things get back open. But nonetheless, got to be safe. Got to be safe.
That's right. Yeah, it was, I think last week was a year ago where we stopped having service in the sanctuary.
Sure was.
I remember having to do all these elaborate setups in my house. And, you know, we were going virtual for the first time and, from our house, and being able to do it, it was great, but it was like everybody's expectation level was so high, I feel like, and it was like.
But I mean, it's, you know, we were introducing ourselves and you're introducing me to a technology that we had not engaged in. We had some because we were doing streaming with service, but we weren't doing everything virtual. And so even though we still had to kind of tweak it, work with it, deal with it, set it up in our homes. I remember sitting in my living room, you sitting in your house and all that. And so this is what we have evolved to.
Right, and isn't that a story, right? Starting from our living rooms and kitchens in our homes to the sanctuary.
To the sanctuary, doing it from the sanctuary. So thank God.
Seriously, we went from our homes to our own broadcast studio. That's now that I'm thinking about it, that's pretty crazy.
That is something within a year.
Within a year, yep.
Thank God. Okay, let's go to our song. You want to introduce our...
what was the song again? I'm just messing with you. I just went to see what you said too. Our song, right. Our song. I do forget, but I don't have my cell phone anywhere to save me. So you know that was planned. Our song this week is from Charles Jenkins. I really like this guy. This Means War. This was, I think, his second biggest hit or something like that. But enjoy This Means War by Pastor Charles Jenkins. Is he still pastoring or is he retired?
I thought he retired.
I thought he retired too.
I thought he retired.
Because he went to fellowship and then...
Got joy in my soul, God is in control. I got Satan on my trail, but I'm singing all is well. He's attacking every day, but I'm watching while I pray. No matter the attack, I won't turn back. This means war. Say this means. Say this means. Say this means. Everybody say, I plead the blood. There's power in the blood. Healing in the blood. Come on, power in the blood. Y'all way up there. You can't have my family. You can't have my increase. You can't have my breakthrough. You can't have my, you can't. Everybody clap your hands. Everybody clap your hands. Clap them and raise them high. Bring them up. Everybody, you say, you can't have my family. Say, you can't have my increase. You say, you can't have my breakthrough. You say, you can't have my, you can't, I plead. There's power in the blood. Healing in the blood. Power in the blood. Said this means there's power in your praise. Prayer changes things. You can't take this lying down. Said this means everybody clap your hands. Everybody clap your hands. Everybody clap your hands. Everybody clap your hands. Everybody, you said, I don't know what you come to do. You said, I don't know what you come to do. Well, now I come to clap my hands. I come to clap my hands. Clap, clap my hands. Clap, clap my hands. Clap, 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 clap. Yes, sir, I come to clap my hands. Everybody, you said, I know he's all right. Everybody, you say, Atlanta, everybody, you say, look at somebody, you say, ATL, everybody clap your, everybody clap your, everybody clap your, everybody clap your, tell somebody you can't have my family, you can't have my increase, tell somebody you can't have my breakthrough, say you can't have my, you can't have my, you can't, everybody clap your hands.
So this means war. Well, you know, to me, that leads us into our hot topic.
Yes, I can see that.
Because it feels like we're at war at this country, in the country. The report came out yesterday from the intelligence that the greatest threat to this country now is homegrown terrorists, is the white supremacists. They're considered terrorist group. And so it's almost like, I mean, they don't want to say it, but it feels like we're in a war.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, subject matter, we're here at our Hot Topics moment, and subject matter is hatred. And I would argue that we are at war against hatred. I mean,
yes, sir.
I am honestly thankful that this is happening. Finally, let's deal with the issue. Let's deal with the issue of hatred towards other people because they are different.
Yeah.
And it's hard, you know, it's hard, not for us, because we've been the victims for hundreds of years, but on the other side of the aisle, or, you know, it definitely seems like it's difficult for them to, and it seems like they don't want to tackle this. I mean, I appreciate the media outlets that are putting it out there, but as a whole in the community, in their community, it just seems like it's something they just kind of want to.
Oh, always. I mean, look at, you know, we just recently had this killing, these people, these women and men who were killed by this guy. This
21 years old.
21 years old. And this officer was describing, you know, giving commentary on what had happened. And he said the guy was having a bad day. Now, who really had a bad day?
The people that died.
The people that died, the people that got killed, the families that must suffer behind this heinous crime.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think? I mean, they call us animals, you know, black on black crime. This guy kills 8 innocent people. At least our stuff is gang related, right? Not to make it right.
Right.
But this guy goes just on a rampage, kills 8 innocent people, and he just had a bad day.
And then it's tied to some sexual addiction that he was trying to eradicate, which again is steeped in religious beliefs that are so misrepresentative of the truth of the Bible, of the gospel, and all these other things. But to me, once again, it stems from something I've been preaching about, self-hate. This whole, how the Bible teaches you, hate who you are, and then you internalize this self-hate, and then you go out and kill other people because you don't like who you are.
The bottom line.
And it's not okay.
It's not okay. The bottom line is they don't want to accept the truth.
They don't want to accept the truth.
They don't want to accept the truth.
And there is to me, there's a sympathy towards other white people that do these things. White people sympathize with white people, just like the mob.
Right.
But just like the mob
so right.
that stormed the Capitol. All these people are sympathetic to that. No, every one of them. I want to cuss. I want to be a Kirk Franklin right now.
I know you
but
do.
I
feel you.
Everybody that was on the Capitol grounds, along with the previous president, all of them need to be arrested. You stormed the Capitol at the direction of the president. So there is this sympathy from the Caucasian, not all of them. There are some, and I'm like you, I think I think the fact that this is a part of the conversation, I think it started with Black Lives Matter. Look at this thing that's going on with the guy who had the knee.
Colin Kaepernick, the
guy that was killed by
Floyd.
George Floyd.
Yeah,
in the trial. We got to move the trial because this is a complicated case. How is that complicated?
How?
You put your knee on the neck of a black man.
And the man said he couldn't breathe.
He couldn't breathe. You didn't have to put your knee on him. Other people are trying to tell you don't do it. You stand there with a smirk on your face and this man dies. And then you're looking at them. It's a complicated case. It ain't complicated.
It's not complicated.
This sympathy. It's like some judge
it's
said.
It's the unfairness.
Oh.
It's the white privilege. I'm passionate. It's the white privilege of it all. This whole posture that in this it's something more than what it is. No.
Right.
You guys mistreat other people. And it comes out in how you kill people.
Thank
and you get away with it.
And get away with it.
And it's time to stop.
It's
almost cussed.
Yeah, I know. But it really, and what President Obama said, he thinks it's going to take a lot of years before we're beyond it. And it probably is.
He's right.
But it is just so, upsetting. It's just so unfair. It doesn't feel good. It is actually a painful thing to see people kill, hurt, do the things that they do, these white people, and then there is a justice system that gives them
grace.
A pass.
Gives them grace.
And that gives them grace. And here a black man can smoke some marijuana and practically go to jail for life. Come on now.
I mean, to us, to African American people, this kind of blatancy. Let me just draw one parallel as we've gone over our time. Martin Luther King wrote a letter from the Birmingham jail, and he lost a lot of friends after he did that.
Yeah.
And he was saying that we can't deal with this any longer because we've been dealing it already for so long. And bottom line is, that's how we feel.
Thank you.
We've already been dealing with this for 1,000 years. For us, there is no more time to waste.
That's
right.
right.
For us, there is no time for you to be passive and say this is complicated. For us, we need you to call the ish what it is.
Yes.
And we need, and like it is going to take some time. People get Barack.
That don't feel good. The fact that it's going to take time.
Yes, that doesn't feel good to us. We want it done now. We want it done now. If I am not going to be vulgar or, again, we're over our time. But I'm telling you, if the tables were turned, it would be some massive problem.
Oh, my God.
Congress would have hearings and all of that stuff. But because it's not, because it's not that and the tables are not turned, it's complicated.
I'm going to throw this in there, and I know we're over our time, Keith said. I'm going to throw this in there. I'm like Bill Maher. Democrats need to get some balls.
They do.
They need to speak. I mean, Republicans do whatever they want to do. They didn't even vote on the stimulus package. They didn't want to give people money, and no people are suffering and hurting. And so I just think Joe Biden and the Democrats need to see the hell with these people. Let's do what we need to do for this country and to help people. They'll come along. They'll figure it out. 75% of the population was on board for the stimulus package. 75%. And the Republicans still did not vote for it.
I mean, you have to say that the system is broken when the people that are chosen to represent us do not vote in our interests.
Absolutely.
And the truth of the matter is the Republicans would have lost the last 20 years plus of elections because Democrats have won the popular vote every time. Yet, a Democratic president has not been in office. And if at the point of it all, what it boils down to, I think there's some things I like about Republicans, fiscal fiscal
responsibility.
Fiscal responsibility. All of that, what I was going to say, well, all of that is hidden under all of that is just a front to an agenda that just seems like it's not about helping people. It's about something else that doesn't create a world of fairness.
It's about appealing to the rich because they want the rich to run the country. And it's about them lining their pockets because lobbyists are steady putting millions of dollars into the pockets of these Republicans. It all boils down to money. Look at what happened with the previous president. He lost the election. He's an unpopular person and twice impeached. And what does he do? He raises over time, I mean within a limited amount of time, he raises $200 million. Over its, at the end of the day, everybody want to slice of that money. So, and money is driving us. These Republicans, instead of being fair to people in the justice system, being fair to people economically, they are not fair, and it's all about themselves. And so it is broken.
It's broken.
Tremendously broken. And it's frustrating to, you know, even though we're not living like we lived during Jim Crow, there's time to reinstate Jim Crow by messing with the voting opportunity to the Voting Rights Act and all that.
It's all about
stuff.
Maintaining control.
Maintaining
control. It's
but anyway.
very frustrating, very frustrating.
Anyway.
But, as you can see, we're really passionate about all of these things.
We have these discussions.
We have these discussions. We just want people to be able to live and live in peace.
Yes.
Just live and live powerfully at the end of the day. And,
yes.
And for our systems of living and governing to impede that is one of the most frustrating parts about life. But today is Palm Sunday, but today is also still Women's History Month, and we're going to acknowledge our women's history. Women, thank God for women. They have helped push us into, help us be in the modern day era that we are in. And I think the more women we get involved to change the hearts of men and change the minds of men, the more that we can progress as a nation, a country, and as a world. So today we're going to go to another.
We're dealing with, I think I wanted to highlight, and we've talked about it, we want to highlight trans women.
Absolutely.
Trans women are very powerful. I've done some tremendous thing. I think about Dee Dee Chambly, who was a member of our church, a deacon, even Tori Cooper, who was a deacon of our church. And we're going to show a slide.
We're going to take you to a little video like we did last week. But, trans women is a hot topic. That
it really is.
That Marjorie Taylor Greene, sitting up with her signs, her fellow congresswoman has a transgender daughter, and she's like, I'm not changing laws, so your transgender daughter can go pee in a women's bathroom. I mean, this is
ignorant.
Just ignorant,
Foolishness.
It's a lot to unpack, but we have to deal with these issues. We have to talk about these things. And Tabernacle, we're doing our part, honoring our own trans women and trans women in history. So take a look at this. We hope you enjoy.
So what an absolutely amazing speech. It is my honor to be here with all of you at this year's Time to Thrive in my new position as Director of Community Engagement for the Transgender Justice Initiative. My name is Tori Cooper, and I use all feminine pronouns she, her, and hers. So I'm here to speak from the lens of a transgender woman, a mother figure, an auntie, and an advocate. When I was a teenager, this type of amazing experience wasn't possible. So I applaud each and every one of you for your part in making Time to Thrive a success once again and being powerful role models for all of our youth. Give yourselves a round of applause. So the Trevor Project cites that around 2% of youth identify as transgender. Those of us in this room know that supporting our kids is one of the best safeguards to helping them lead fulfilling, happy, and healthy lives. Our support needs to start early, just like you all are doing today and this entire weekend. When LGBTQ youth are shown love and support early on, we provide them a firm foundation on which to build their lives and their aspirations. And I get it. As parents, we all have dreams and plans for our kids from the day that they were born and even from the day that they were conceived. We believe they'll look a certain way, and we dream that they'll have a certain job and they'll have a certain spouse. True love defies all of our best and worst intentions.
I began to love myself again and to think beyond my everyday needs.
Miss Dee Dee, she has been organizing for the rights of our community and building spaces for our community for decades. For many, many years before we were at this kind of heightened level of visibility that we were at now.
In most instances, she advocates for her girls and looking out for the interests of her girls.
She always made sure that people knew the landscape of being trans.
Right, that was a wonderful piece. Transgender women, we love our transgender women. They are awesome, excuse me. Now we've come to the point where we're gonna do our business highlight. Today we are highlighting my brother and friend, Robert Manley, Golden Touch Consultants. Robert is wonderful, y'all. He does events, so he decorates for events. He decorates for weddings. He plans weddings. He has an amazing business. So on your next event, definitely reach out to Robert Manley, Golden Touch Consultants. Get with him and let him help you have an amazing event, obviously, when we come back to being able to do these types of things, because things are not in person anymore. But Robert, thank you for all your contributions to the church, and we wanted to highlight you for your business today.
Well, once again, we at the point where we want to do our tithes and offerings. Well, y'all got so many cameras in here, I don't know which one to look at. You got the jib, you got that one, you got this young lady on camera, you got him on camera. You got 4 cameras going today. My goodness, anyway, I guess we need to be like the TV host people that everybody got an earpiece in to know what camera to look at. Anyway, so it's time for our offering.
Pick one and look at it.
Pick one and look at it, and then they'll follow me. Okay. Anyway, we're time for our offering. Listen, people, you don't have to be a member of Tabernacle to make a donation. Anybody who believes in what we're doing, believes in this ministry, and especially the ministry of love and acceptance, and what we've made happen in this city, what we've made happen across the world, across the country, with helping people to love, own themselves, and letting everybody know you have a seat at the table. So we want you to support our ministry. Tabernacle members, want you to continue to support our ministry, support your church. Here are the ways to give. It's on your screen, how to give to our church.
Yep, giving is always in order, right?
Oh, absolutely.
I think my first giving lesson, I don't know, we were living at 4723 Stacy Street.
Oh, my goodness, that's California.
That was California. This is my first lesson on giving. You and Mom always gave the tithes and offering, and you were like, money's running a little low, we can't give our tithes and offering yet, or something like that. And Mom was like, no, we can't do that. She didn't play with that stuff. My mom was a real stickler.
That tithe was like the house notes.
So she didn't play with it. He was like, well, I got to do this, such and such. And then I reminded you, I said, Daddy, you started a Christmas account, you put $500 in there. You can use that. And then that was my story, and that's when I remember about tithing. And
sure it is.
My mom ingrained it into me. He ingrained it into me. I don't even see it. My tithe comes out every week like clockwork. It's just something that happens. But to each his own. If you can't give your tithe and offering, you can give your $25.
That's right.
So, and if you can't give that, it's okay. You don't have to be worried if you don't have it. God knows your heart.
And really, I mean, it's not the amount, it's about what comes from your heart.
Yeah.
I have somebody that gives to my bishop thing, and I know you're going to lead into it. They give $2 a week.
Hey.
But that's, if that's what they can do, I'm appreciative of that $2. I have somebody faithfully, your mother, she going to get that $5.
$5. It's a sign, I'm sorry,
But listen, I am grateful for every penny, every kind, because people don't have to be nice to you. They don't have to give.
Yes.
So I'm thankful. So it's not the amount. It's about what comes from your heart.
Yes, giving is totally voluntary. And like you said, bishop's offering, I give my bishop's offering, my mother, people give their offerings. And to me, it's just a way of saying thank you for your encouragement type of contribution to my life, your spiritual contribution to my life.
Absolutely.
It's just a way of saying thank you. I have a friend that's in this room right now. He gives, right? But he stashes his give money away, right? And then when there's a need, he's like, oh, there's a need here. I already put this away.
That's right.
To give. And he's none other than David Herring. He's looking at his phone right now instead of looking at the camera, but it's all right. So no, give your offering. Bishops, ways to give are up on Bishop's screen, and give to the church. We really appreciate anything and everything that you do.
Thank you.
All right. You ready to preach your sermon?
Yeah, ready for getting into this word. Ready to get into this message.
Okay, y'all get ready.
How I got over, how I made it over. Somebody come up on this organ and help me. My son look back and wonder how I made it over. How I got over. How I made it over. My soul look back and wonder how I made it over. Tell me how I made it over. and never retire. Then I'm gonna sing glory, hallelujah. Shout my troubles over. I wanna thank God for being so good to me. Tell me how I made it over. Had a mighty hard time coming over. You know my soul, the back and run down. Know how I made it over. I'm going to where I died in the New Jerusalem. I'm gonna walk the streets of gold in the soul. I'm gonna view the host in white. They've been traveling day and night. Come on, coming up from every nation on the way to the great coronation. Coming from the north, south, east, and west. On their way to the land of red. I'm a judge, the heavenly choir. I'm gonna shout and never get tired. I'm gonna sing glory, hallelujah. I'm a shout of my trouble over. I wanna thank you.
I must tell Jesus all of my troubles. I cannot bear these burdens alone. In my distress, He kindly will help me. Jesus alone cares for His own. I must tell Jesus. I must tell Jesus. Tell Him I can't bear these burdens alone. I must tell Jesus. Jesus alone can help me. I thought I'd say that. Anyway, I felt like singing that. Hope you enjoyed it. I Must Tell Jesus, one of the great hymns of the church. So let me start. I want to start a new series, and I'm coming from the book again, The Power of Positive Thinking from Norman Beale. He has a chapter in there that really kind of got me. I mean, it really resonated in my mind, in my heart, and in my spirit. The title of this chapter is A Peaceful Mind Generates Power. You know, when I read the title of the chapter, I mean, I was so anxious about getting into it because the Bible speaks over and over about how important our minds are when it comes to understanding, practicing, living out biblical truth and operating in a Christian context. I think of the verse in the Bible that says, "Let this mind be in you that was in Christ Jesus." Another mind says, "Thou wilt keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee." And of course, Romans, the 12th chapter and the 2nd verse, which says, "Be renewed by the renewing of your mind." So there are these repeated verses in the Bible that has to do with the mind. But I want to hone in on the fact that when your mind is at peace, and this thing, you know, when you think of peace, peace means the cessation or the end of struggle. It means without turmoil, without struggle. And so when your mind is at peace, when there's no struggling in your mind, when there's no conflict, let me say, in your mind, when your mind is at peace, he talks about how you generate power. A peaceful mind generates power. Let me go back to my definition of power so that you always understand when I'm talking about power, what that does for you. Power gives you the ability, when you operate in the understanding of power, you have the ability to make things happen, to rearrange things in your life, to arrange things, to put things in order, to prioritize. That's what power, it means you can do it because you have the power. And the Bible teaches us over and over again that the Holy Spirit gives us power. So here's the thing. When your mind is at peace, it generates the ability to make things happen. In other words, you cannot make things happen for your life or the lives of others when your mind is in conflict. Are you getting this? Are you catching this? When you are in conflict mentally, when you are disturbed mentally, when you are at war with yourself, when you are at war in your mind, you interfere, you impede your ability to make things happen, to arrange things, to live with priorities. So you've got to work on calming and stilling your mind. Maybe you need to pray the serenity prayer. Lord, help me to accept the things I cannot change and the power to change the things I can, and the peace to understand what the difference is. In other words, people, you've got to still that mind in order to make things happen in your life. A peaceful mind generates power, it moves things, it makes happen. Listen, it's when you are not at peace, it's hard to pay your bills. When you're not at peace, it's hard to manage being a parent. When you're not at peace, it's hard to manage just living life. So you've got to really own, operate, internalize in a place of peace. Maybe you need to meditate. You need to do something to come to a place of peace, because a peaceful mind generates power. And there is no reason why we as believers are not generating power and making things happen in our lives and in the lives of others, our family, our friends, our community. Listen, that's what happens. Peaceful minds will go out and feed the hungry. Peaceful minds will do things in the community. You know, this person who committed these heinous crimes the other week with killing those Asian women in those massage parlors. That was not a sign of a peaceful mind. That was a disturbed mind. That was a mind that was full of unrest. And there was nothing powerful about that. It was a heinous crime. But a peaceful mind contributes to society in a healthy and a prominent way. A peaceful mind is a person who can become and do and be a healthy, good parent that directs their children, that guides their children, that makes sure their household has everything they need. People, I cannot tell you how important it is to have a peaceful mind and to end whatever mental conflict. Now listen, I know there are times in our lives when we are not at peace. Let me be the first to admit, there are times in my life when I have unrest in my soul, unrest in my mind, when the conflict is going on. But I'm telling you now, I do everything I can to still my mind, to quiet my mind, in order to empower myself to move forward. Now, listen, You cannot allow life circumstances or life's issues or life troubles or life's trials or tribulations to cause you to be paralyzed or to cause you to stand still in life. You've got to figure out how to get beyond and how to engage yourself in a way that you are embracing a sense of contentment and peace in your mind so you can live your best life. You are not living your best life if you're not at peace in your mind and in your heart. And you've got to be content with yourself. Listen, let me tell you, first of all, you've got to be happy with you. That's what I've been saying in the other previous sermons. A content mind is a mind that believes in yourself, that's content with your life, that understands that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. But you've got to work on maybe you need to see a therapist. Maybe you need to talk to somebody. But you've got to stop that mind from having the conflict. As I said earlier, I can attest to, I'm a witness that there are times in my life, but it is a terrible thing. It is not a good thing. It does not feel good to live in conflict. Just like, for example, if you've got conflict in your home, you're with somebody, you with your significant other, you're married, that conflict in your home, I don't care how you shape your lips or how you think about it, it does not feel good. When you got to walk in and you reluctant to speak, or you don't want to open your mouth, or you sleeping in bed and one person sleeping on one side, other one sleeping on the other side, all of us know, those of you in the studio right now, you know it does not feel good in your household when you're not at peace. It does not feel good personally when your mind is not at peace. You're not generating power. It impedes your ability to make things happen for your life. So my brothers and sisters, my friends, those of you who are listening, please do whatever you can to steer your mind. Sometimes, like Tony Robbins says in his book, he's a motivational speaker. Tony Robbins says, sometimes to steer your mind, you have to physically change your space. Like you could be sitting there and that the room that you're in, you know, sitting in that room reminds you of conflict. It reminds you of feeling bad. It's kind of like, you know, sometimes when I'm not feeling good, like the times when I was sick, I would get up and just go sit in my garage. I would have to move because sitting in the same space or being in the same place, sometimes all that does is it reinforces the conflict. It reinforces the disturbed mind. So sometimes you have to move out of that space. Sometimes you have to get in your car and drive in order to stop that conflict in your mind, come to a place of peace, and then move forward with whatever resolve you are trying to move into to get to that place where you're moving forward and you're doing what. Listen, life never stops. I don't care how old you get. Life never stops. You don't stop living. You keep moving forward. You keep progressing. You keep succeeding. You keep moving into that place where life is meaningful. Life is enjoyable. Life is fun. Life is good to you. So you keep moving in that direction. So these necessary disciplines about dealing with your mind, stilling your mind, quieting your mind, and generating the necessary power so that you can move forward, so that you can be all that God has called you to be, so you can enjoy your life, so you can enjoy living, so that life is good. One of the things you have to do is you have got to work on controlling your mind. There's this thing called, I think it's called emotional intelligence. It's called IE. You have to be emotionally intelligent. And so that means working on yourself mentally. You know, we do a whole lot, Facebook and everything, to work on other people because we're always concerned about what somebody else is doing and what somebody else is thinking. It's time to work on you. Work on your mind, steal your mind, stop all of the foolishness and all of the conflict, and do those things that are healthy, positive, wholesome, good for healthy and good living. A positive mind generates power. Powerful people make things happen for themselves, for the world, and for their community. Amen. Thank you. Thank you for listening. So once again, thank you all for tuning in and watching our virtual service. I hope you appreciate and enjoy what we brought to you today.
Yep. Closing thoughts, you know, we're really passionate about this hate stuff.
Yeah.
The powerful, the peaceful mind and powerful mind is a good message to.
Thank you.
You know, anchor that conversation as we continue going with that. I think that's some good stuff.
Well, thank you. So we're going to recognize the sick and shut in and the bereaved members of our church. We're always in prayer for all of you. And let me say thank you again always for praying for your bishop.
Yes.
Praying for even Taylor and his family and all of us who are in leadership position at the church. Thank you for your continued prayers and your continued praying for each other. So we're going to close out with another song. Do you listen to the radio?
I do.
Do you?
Well, not all the time.
I'm a Pandora person.
Oh,
I listen to Pandora all the time.
Pandora's cool.
In my car a lot, and then sometimes when I'm just piddling around the house, I listen to Pandora. Every now and then I listen to the gospel station. So a lot of my music is pulled from listening to
streamed music.
Yeah, stream because it's it's Pandora and other streaming sites. But one of the things I miss from church is the praise. The praise breaks. You know,
energy of the pandemonium.
We go to shouting up in here and dancing, and there were, God, I can't even count the times when I couldn't even preach because people get so excited and folks go to shouting and dancing and praising God. Anyway, I found this clip was James Fortune.
James Fortune?
James Fortune, A Praise Break. It's a praise break by James Fortune. Listen, we're going to close with this praise break, but I know that some of y'all going to be dancing when you hear this praise break. I heard it saw it on YouTube, and I was like, Lord have mercy, I got to play this. Matter of fact, I got up and went to dancing myself. I can't dance like I used to, but I kind of moved my feet, somewhat. My knees. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. Thank you again for watching and tuning in to our virtual service.
Have a good week. We'll see you next week.
Now, if I were you, I wouldn't let nobody on my road intimidate me from praising God tonight. Because maybe you can pray for me, but you can't praise for me. Somebody say, I got to praise God for myself. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, say, well, think about Jesus. What is up for me? Well, think about Jesus. How he set me free. I can dance. All night, clap your hands, do your dance. He's so worthy. Bless his name. He's so worthy. I will bless him. Yes, I will. Yes, I will. I gotta praise him. I gotta write. I gotta reason. Yes, I will. Yes, I will. Yes, I will. If you've been through what I've been through, you would be praising too. If you've been through what I've been through, you would be praising too. If you've been through what I've been through, you would be praising too. If you've been through what I've been through, you would be all night, all night. Give God glory. Bless his name. He's still healing. Make right now. Come here, hey, come here, John. Come here, Cardi. They see you praising God tonight, and they think you praising God because you're not going through nothing. But tell somebody next to you, say, I'm not praising God tonight because I don't have problems. Tell them, say, I'm praising God tonight because my problems don't have me. Say, I will bless the Lord at all times, and His praises shall. His praises shall. Come on, give Him praise. Yeah. Come on, somebody dance. Yeah. I got to praise Him. I got to praise Him. To God be the glory. To God be the glory. I need some dancers, y'all. I need a few more dancers. Y'all ready? Come on, fight. Come here. Let's go. Somebody shout it to God! See, before we go, I want you to praise God right now because you got to let the enemy know tonight. I've been letting them know all night that after all the hell that he put me through, baby, I still got my shout, I still got my praise, I still got my dance. Oh yeah, you might have took some stuff, but you can't take my praise. I might have lost some friends, but you can't steal my shout.